Definition of ratio: a quantitative relationship between two objects or things or persons is called a ratio. Quantitative relationship, mind it, quantitative relationship. And again, one more point to be added: upon removing a common factor from these quantities, a ratio is formed. Normally ratios are denoted by A is to B, right? Common notation. Let us see with an example. If the weight of Rama is 24 and weight of Sita is 36, now the ratio of weight of Rama and Sita is what? Now upon removing a common factor, what is the common factor to be removed? Is it 12, right? So upon removing 12, the ratio is 2 is to 3. Now the ratio of weight of Rama and Sita is 2 is to 3. And again here one more point to be noted: ratios cannot be further divided. Cannot be further divided. Next one, proportion. Proportion is nothing but the relationship between two ratios is called proportion. Now A is to B is a ratio and they are in proportion with C is to D, another ratio. Now it is denoted by 4 dots. Okay, now A is to B can be written as A by B, which is equal to C is to D can be written as C by D. These simple logics will be helpful to crack the questions, right? So next one, variations. Variation is nothing but how the things are impacted with variable things, right? Let us see with an example. Let us take 3 things: pressure, volume, temperature. Now when temperature is constant, now what is the relationship between pressure and volume? When pressure is increased, volume of the object will be decreased. See here, what is the relationship between pressure and volume? Inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. One thing is increasing, with the impact of that the second thing, volume, is decreasing, right? So this relationship is called inversely proportional. Now when volume is constant, now what is the relationship between pressure and temperature? If pressure is increased, automatically temperature of the object is also increased. Now see here, when one thing is increasing, the impact of that the second thing is also increasing. Now this relationship is called directly proportional, right? So these relationships can be made between many objects. Let us see another example: men, days, work. Now when work is constant, what is the relationship between men and days? When there are more number of men, automatically your working days will be decreased. See here, now what is this relationship? Inversely proportional, right? When days are kept constant, now what is the relationship between men and work? When men are increased, automatically work done will also be increased. Now what is the relationship here? Directly proportional. Likewise, we can frame the relationship between many things. Okay, it depends upon the question, right? Now let us see the questions. The expenses of school are partly constant and partly vary, it seems. Now see here, this question is based on variation. Now there is some fixed cost, it seems, and some variable cost, and this variable cost is dependent on number of boys, it seems, right? Now the variable cost is dependent on number of boys. Now see here, for a school there will be some fixed cost F plus and variable cost also, and the variable cost will depend on the number of boys. Now see the next part. The expenses were rupees 10,000 for 150 boys, it seems. So for 150 boys, now the total expenses will be 10,000. Now second one, fixed cost will be same for the school. And now there are 120 boys, 120 into variable cost will give you how much? 8,500. Now two equations are framed. Simplify this. Fixed cost will get cancelled. 30b is equal to 1500. So variable cost is nothing but 15. Substitute this b in any of the given equations. You will get fixed cost as 2,500. Right? Now what is the question asked? What will be the expenses when there are 200 boys, it seems? 200 boys. Now the fixed cost is 2,500. Now the variable cost is 50. And there are how many number of boys? 200. So now the expenses of the school will be how much? 12,500. Isn't it? These 15 calculations. Option C is correct. Next question. 70 cars can be parked in n rows with equal number of cars in each row. If 2 cars are eliminated from each row, then 4 rows of cars must be added to accommodate all of them, it seems. Find the number of rows initially. Now the question is, in each row there are equal number of cars, it seems. Now let us say for one row there are x number of cars. Now totally how many rows are there? N rows. For n rows how many cars are there? 70. Now crisscross this. What will we get? N into x is equal to 70. Right? Now what the thing happened? If 2 cars are eliminated from each row, in each row there are x cars. Now 2 cars are eliminated from each row, it seems. Right? Then if you remove 2 cars from each row, then what is the next effect? 4 rows of cars must be added. Previously there are n rows. Now 4 rows additionally must be added, which must be equal to your total number of cars, 70, right? Number of cars haven't increased. Now see here, in the place of 70, substitute nx. Now what will you get? Nx, x into n, nx, plus 4x, minus 2n, minus 8 is equal to nx. Now nx get cancelled. Remove a common factor, 2 can be removed, right? Now the equation comes like this, 2x minus n is equal to 4. Right? Now see here, what is the question asked? Find the number of rows initially. You have to find out n, it seems. Now let us make this equation like this. X is equal to 70 by n. Now substitute this x here. Now the equation comes like this. 2 into 70 by n minus n is equal to 4, right? Which is nothing but 140 minus n square is equal to 4n. Now n square plus 4n minus 140 is equal to 0. This will become a quadratic equation. Now what are the roots for this? See here, 140, if you add this must come to 4. Now 14 into minus 10 will be 140 and 14 minus 10 will be 4. Now the roots will be, see here, n plus 14 into n minus 10. Positive will be your answer. So n is equal to 10. So initially how many rows are there? 10 rows are there. See here, we are using many techniques to answer the questions. Next one. 2 mathematic genius meet after 20 years, it seems. Okay, after 20 years. One of them says, I am married and have 3 daughters. The product of their ages is 72, it seems. Now let us consider their 3 daughters as x, y and z. Their product of ages is equal to 72, it seems. The sum is same as my house number, it seems. So x plus y plus z will be equal to his house number. Now other verifies the house number and says, but I cannot find it out. The first says, my eldest daughter has blue eyes. Find the eldest daughter age. Now let us consider the eldest daughter as x. Now damn surely we can say that x is greater than y, as we consider y as second daughter. Now y can be greater than z or equal to z because there is no condition for second and third daughter, right? Now see here how many probabilities will come? 72. If it is 9 into 8 into 1, the product will be 72, right? If it is 8 into 3 into 3, the product will be 72, right? If it is 6 into 6 into 6 6 are 36 into 2, the product will be 72. Now see here, sum of their ages must be equal to house number, it seems. Now what will be the sum here? 9 plus 8, 17 and 18 here. 8 plus 3 plus 3, 14 and 6 plus 6 plus 2, 14. Now we can rule out this option because the house number are same in these two probabilities. and again you have to check this condition, eldest daughter. By this condition you can eliminate this option. Now the only option left here is 8 into 3 into 3. See here, and again see here, there are many things. Another probability is also there, 12 into 6 into 1, which is nothing but 72, but the sum of ages will be 19, right? See here, in these two options only the house number will be matching, and again the eldest daughter must be here. Now the eldest daughter is nothing but 8 years. This option will be correct. Check out the options and do the question. That will be very easy task for you. Okay, number will be 2, 3. See, now we can rule out this option because the house number are same in these two probabilities, and again you have to check this condition, eldest daughter. By this condition you can eliminate this option. Now the only option left here is 8 into 3 into 3. See here, and again see here, there are many things. Another probability is also there, 12 into 6 into 1, which is nothing but 72, but the sum of ages will be 19, right? See here, in these two options only the house number will be matching, and again the eldest daughter must be here. Now the eldest daughter is nothing but 8 years. This option will be correct. Check out the options and do the question. That will be very easy task for you. Okay, now next one, on a 26 questions test, 5 points were deducted for each wrong answer and 8 points were added for right answers. If all the questions were answered, how many were correct if the score was 0? Let us try this question in a different manner by using alligation rule. Now I will explain you alligation rule. Okay, see here, if the average weight of boys in a class is m1 and number of boys in the class is x1, if the average weight of girls is m2 and their number is x2, now the average weight of total class will be y, right? So this will be the alligation rule. Follow these arrow marks for m from m1, follow these arrow marks from y right here. See here, we will start from m1 here. m1 minus y will be equal to x2, follow that arrow marks, and y minus m2 will be equal to x1. Why we have started from y is to mitigate the negative factors. We have started from y here, right? Now crisscross this, at last this comes to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by x1 plus x2 is equal to y. This is nothing but weighted average of the class. Y is nothing but total average weight of the class. Now this alligation rule can be used in many questions. Now observe this question, how this question is used. Okay, how this question is used, explanation will be in the next template. See here, for every wrong answer you are deducted with 5 marks, so minus 5. For every correct answer you are awarded with 8 marks, and totally how many marks did you score? 0. Now what will be the down part? See here, let us start from here. 8 minus 0 is nothing but 8. Now 0 minus of minus 5 will be 5. Now see here, the ratios is 8 is to 5, right? Now see here, 8 is to 5 is the ratio. Now totally how many questions are there in the paper? 26. Now you are asked to find out which one. If all questions were answered, how many were correct? It seems how many were correct. Now you have to find out the 5 parts one, right? This is the correct one. So totally how many parts are there? 8 plus 5, 13 parts. Out of these 13 parts, 5 parts are correct questions. Totally how many questions are there? 26 questions. 13 ones are and 13 twos are. So how many questions are correct? 10 questions are correct, right? And 16 questions are wrong. Am I right? Now 16 5s are 80. So you will get minus 80 marks for this. For 10 questions you will get 80 marks. So minus 80 plus 80, totally how many marks did you score? 0. So we have satisfied the given thing. Now see, alligation rules are used in many ways in profit and loss, in simple interest, compound interest, in many things. Now see the next one. There are coins of rupees 5, rupees 2, rupees 1 rupee 50 pies, 25 pies, 10 pies and 5 pies. Each one has got a weight which is proportional to its value. Weight of the coins will be proportional to its value, it seems. Rupees 5 coin weighs 20 grams, it seems. Okay, see here, 5 coin weighs 20 grams. I mean 5 rupee coin. Now from the question, weight will be proportional to the value. Now what will be the 1 rupee coin weight? Will it be 4 grams? Right? Based on that we can frame the weights of all these, right? Now the question is, find the minimum number of coins to get a total of 196.4 grams, it seems. Okay, so see here, 196.4 grams. See here, 1 rupee weighs you 4 grams. Now 196.4 grams will give you how many rupees? This is my question. Crisscross this, 196 0.4 by 4 will lead you to nothing but, see here, 4 4s are 16, 4 9s are 49.1 rupees. So 196.4 grams will lead you to have 49.1 rupees. Now my question is minimum number of coins, it seems. So this rupees must contain more number of 5 rupee coins. Am I right? Now how many 5 rupee coins can be made? See here, if you take 9 5 rupee coins, that will be equal to 45. And the remaining thing, if you take 2 coins of 2 rupees, totally how many? 49 rupees are over. If you take 1 coin of 10 paisa, then automatically this will lead to 49.1 rupees. So totally how many coins do we need for 49.1 rupees? 9 5 rupees, 2 2 rupees and 1 10 paisa. Totally we need 12 coins, 12 minimum number of coins to get a total of 196.4 grams. Observe the questions. These are all logic based. Next one. See, this is a typical question. Rangarao is a typical merchant who sells apples. First he gives half of the total apples that he has and half an apple. Then he gives half of the remaining and half an apple. He gives it in the same manner. After 7 times, all apples are over. How many apples did he initially have is the question. Now, initially we don't know how many apples are there, and if you start initially by taking some value, it leads to a lot of calculations. Now, see here how to approach for a question. Now, the threshold point here is after 7 times, all the apples are over, it seems. We'll start from this, right? For the 7th time, if Rangarao has X number of apples, in this X number of apples, he gave half of the apples plus half of the apple, it seems. Then how many apples will he have now? Now all apples are over means this must be equal to 0, right? Very good. Now calculate this. 2x minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. Now for the 7th time, Rangarao have 1 apple. In that 1 apple, he shared half of the apple, means 1 by 2. The remaining thing 1 by 2. So what will be the left? 0. So let us do one more iteration. Now see here, let us do one more iteration, then you can get very easy clarity. Now see here, for the 7th time he has 1 apple. Let us start with 6th time, right? Now for the 6th time, if he has y apples, in this y apples he will be sharing half of the apples plus half of the apple. And how much will be the apples will be left over? 1 will be the leftover apple. Am I right? Right, very good. Now again do this. 2y minus 1 is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. Now see here, for the 6th time Rangarao is left with 3 apples, right? Now let us do one more iteration for your convenience. 5th time, let us consider z as the number of apples when Rangarao started for 5th time. Now see here, with z apples he has given half of the apples plus half of the apple. Now what will be the leftover apples? 3 apples will be the leftover thing, right? 3. Now 2z minus z minus 1 is equal to 6. Now z is equal to 7. See here, for the 5th time, for the start of 5th time, Rangarao have 7 apples. Now this thing is moving in the format of 2 to the power of n minus 1. See here, 2 to the power of 1 minus 1 1, 2 square minus 1 3, 2 to the power of 3 minus 1 7. So at last, how many iterations have Rangarao made? 7 iterations. 2 to the power of 7 minus 1 will lead you to 127. So for the first time, Rangarao initially has 127 apples is the answer. See here, totally Rangarao have done this 7 times. So 7 times means 2 to the power of 7 minus 1. Your answer will be 128 minus 1. So option A. Observe the techniques here. Now Dinalal divides his property among his 4 sons after donating rupees 20,000 and 10% of his remaining property. Okay, now Dinalal have donated rupees 20,000, it seems, and 10% of his remaining property. If let us consider the total property as P. Now P minus 20,000 into 1 by 10 will be the 10% of his remaining property. He has donated this much part. Okay, the amounts received by last 3 sons are in arithmetic progression. So arithmetic progression, it seems. Let us consider the arithmetic progression as a plus d comma a minus d. Why I have considered this progression means you can consider as a comma a plus d comma a plus 2d. If you consider a comma a plus d comma a plus 2d, then you will get a negative d value. So in order to mitigate the negative d value, I took as the arithmetic progression like this, right? And the amount received by fourth son is equal to total amount donated, it seems. Now what is the total amount donated? Is the thing the total amount donated? And this is the amount received by the fourth son, it seems. Fine. Okay. The first son receives as his share 20,000 more than the share of second son. Now the share of second son is a plus d. Now the first son will receive how much? A plus d plus 20,000. Am I right? Right. Now the last one. Last point. The last son received rupees 1 lakh less than the eldest son. 1 lakh less than the eldest son. Now the difference between the eldest one and the last one is 1 lakh. Now see here, the eldest one got this much, a plus d plus 20,000. And the last son means, is this the thing? A minus d is the last one, right? The difference between them is 1 lakh. Now see here, a and a gets cancelled. Minus of minus d, 2d is equal to 80,000. Now d is nothing but 40,000. We got the value of d. Now see the next part. So see here, this is the part donated, right? Now the remaining part will be how much? Can you see me? The remaining part, remaining property value, P minus 20,000. P minus 20,000. Let us see the things here. P minus 20,000. In his property, he has donated P minus 20,000. And in this 1 by 10, so the remaining part will be equal to 9 by 10. And this remaining part will be shared by the 4 sons. Who are those 4 sons? A plus d is nothing but 20,000. So d plus 20,000 will become, d is 40,000. So a plus 60,000 is the first son share. Second son is a plus 40,000. Third son is a, and fourth son is a minus 40,000. Now what is the amount received by the fourth son? 20,000 plus P minus 20,000 into 1 by 10, which will be equal to a minus d. A minus d is the fourth son share, which is d is nothing but 40,000. Now at last this comes to P minus 20,000 into 1 by 10 is equal to a minus 60,000. Now see here, this is one equation, second one, and this is another equation, second one, first one, sorry. Now upon solving these two equations, we will get a value as how much and p value as how much. Simplifying these two things is an easy thing. You can easily calculate the things. Now property value will be, p value will be 40,000. Sorry, a value will be 1,20,000. Solve these two equations, you can easily get the answer, right? And p value will be 40,000. Now what is the question asked here? So what is the share of the third son? What is the share of the third son? See here, a is the share of third son. Now what is his share? 1,20,000 is the share of third son. See here, I have not done the simplifications. You can do it very easily as we have done in the first question. Two equations, simplify that, you will get p and a values, right? Property value is nothing but not 40,000, it is 4 lakh, sorry. Now next question. A, B, C entered into a partnership. A invested rupees 6,500 for 6 months, B invested rupees 8,400 for 5 months, and C invested rupees 10,000 for 3 months. A is a working partner and gets 5% of the total profit for the same. Find the share of C in the total profit of 7,400, it seems. See here, partnership is nothing but ratio problems extension. Okay, ratios problem extension. Now let us see here. A is a working partner, it seems. He gets 5% of the total profit. Okay, now the total profit is 7,400. Now 740 is nothing but 10% value. Now by 2 will give you the 5% value, which is nothing but how much? 370. Now as a working partner, A gets 370 rupees. Now you have to remove this 370 from 7,400. So the remaining value will be how much? 7,030 rupees, right? And this has to be shared between A, B, C, and this sharing will be depending upon their investment and the time of investment, right? Now see here, A invested 6,500 rupees for 6 months out of 12 months is to, and again see here, how much did B invested? 8,400 for 5 months out of 12 months, and C invested 10,000 for 3 months out of 12 months. So make a ratio between these two, right? Simplify this. What do we get? At last 13 is to 14 is to 10 is the ratio of profits of A, B and C. Now our question is, what is the C's profit? You have to find out the 10 parts value. Totally how many parts are there? 13 plus 14, 27. 37 parts are there. Out of this 37 parts, 10 parts is C's value, and the sharing must be 7,030 rupees. Upon simplification, what do we get? This 37 ones and 37 190s. Totally, what is the profit to be shared to C? 1900. See, you have to be swift in calculations, and these questions are very helpful to crack your GATE examination, right? Thank you.